Hi, certainly glad to see you today. I thought today we'd just do a painting. It's a lot of fun. I hope you have your paints out and your big brushes and you're ready to get along here with us. So I tell you what, let's start out today, have them run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with us. And while they're doing that, as usual, let me show you what I've got done up here. Today I have a standard old canvas up here, and I've covered the top of the canvas with liquid white, the bottom with liquid black, and I've just blended them together so you have a nice even flow of color here. It goes from white to black, and it's that easy. Shoot, let's have some fun today. I thought today maybe let's just do a painting. It's a lot of fun, make you feel good in here. Start with a small amount of phthalo blue. Don't need much, it's very strong, just a little, just a tiny bit. Let's go up in here and let's just tap in all kinds of little happy things. Tap, twirl, whatever. Let's make a sky that has some life in it today. Just spin in all kinds of little doers like that. We're not too worried about them. Just have fun. Painting should make you happy. Should be a good time when you're painting. There, see? Just sort of swirl it in, let it go, play with it. Reach over here and get a small amount of alizarin crimson right on the same brush. Very small amount though. And that'll give us sort of a reddish lavender because there's blue on there. And we'll let that bounce in and here and there, wherever. Just a little. Just a little. And we can go back and get a little white here and there. Just a little white on the brush. And we'll just spin a little bit of that in there. I'm just varying colors. I want a sky, as I say, that has a lot of little things happening in it. And each and every one of these will be different. Yours will be different in this one. The next one that we do here will be different. So don't try to just copy now. Let yours be an individual. There. Just blend that a little bit. And you can vary back and forth. Went back into a little blue there. There. The blue is much stronger than any other color up here. So you have to sort of keep that in mind. Blue it'll get away from you sometime if you're not careful. And phthalo blue is such a strong, beautiful color. Might be just about my favorite color. There we go. There, so it's quite a warm blue. Some blues are very, very cold feeling. You have to put on a coat just to work with them. Phthalo blue is a warm blue. Probably has a little green in it. Something like that. That's probably all we're gonna need for that little sky. While I got the old brush dirty, I'm gonna put a little Prussian blue. And I'm gonna go right over this dark color. About like that. Just let it blend upward. See how easy that is to cover when you have the black on there? This black works wonderful for areas that you know in your painting are gonna have a lot of dark in them. It works wonderful. Now we're gonna clean the brush. If you've painted with me before, you know that's the most fun part of the whole technique. And that's really the fun. It's just beating the old brush here. Tell you what, today, let's have a little mountain that lives way back in the, oh, it's far away. Take a little black, little alizarin crimson, little blue in it. Something like that. Pull it out flat, cut across, get our little roll of paint. And maybe in our world, a little mountain lives right there. I don't want much paint. Scrape off all the excess. In fact, if it bothers you to scrape, add a little white to it. So that way it won't be so dark. I don't mind scraping the canvas hard. There. All right. But just a small amount of paint as you can put on there. Just enough to stain the canvas. Now, back to our 2-inch brush, and we want to grab this and pull it. Just pull it, and then blend it outward. I want to make this very light. The lighter a mountain is, the farther away it'll look in your painting. If it's close to you, it'll be very distinct and dark. I want this one to live way back somewhere far away, so it's very light. There we are. Something about like that. We can just blend the entire thing a little to bring it together. Okay, that's all. Little white, just a little time. Maybe I'll put the least little touch of the bright red in it. Just enough to warm it up a little. We have a little pink in the sky, so we'll have a little of that in here. Cut off our little roll of paint, okay? Now, I don't want a lot of detail back here, so I'm going to just put the tiniest little bit of color on here, a little bit of white. Don't want much though. Once again, I want this to look far away, so I don't want a lot of detail in it. Just enough to give the indication that there's a big mountain living back here. I don't even know what we'll do in the foreground exactly yet, but we'll come up with something. Don't worry about it. That's what's so great about this style of painting. You can literally start off and only have a time of year in mind. That's really all you need. And time of day, probably, to determine where your light's coming from. But other than that, you really don't have to make any major decisions when you first start. And I like that, because about halfway through, I'll probably change my mind anyway. A little blue, Prussian blue, a little white. Maybe a little more white. Lighten it up. Ooh, that's just perfect. A little roll of paint. Almost no color here. Just a hint. Just a hint. Just enough to give a little indication. Because I'm probably going to take the little blender brush and blend this whole mountain to soften it. I'm not trying to put much detail in it. Little blender brush, and then very lightly, following the basic angles. This little blender brush, the hair in it is so soft, you can paint right over this firm paint, as long as it's very gentle, without destroying it. There, see, soften it, blend it. There we are. All right, we just pushed that little mountain back about 5 or 6 miles, right on back there. Now then, let's go into, we'll just use that blue that we had right here. Just tap that brush right into it. Same old bluish color. Go up in here. Now then, I want to just take some of these angles and begin coming downward with them. Make all kinds of little shapes. Grab another brush. I want to do something. I'll take the least little bit of Indian yellow. Least little bit, and just blend it up. Just had an idea. I think if that's there, watch here. It'll create all kinds of little things happening down in here when we come across. Because this yellow, along with this blue, is going to give us a basic little green color. Sneaky, huh? Maybe there's a little dewar that comes down from here, goes up like that, we don't know, and then lift upward. Make it look like there's little trees living back here far away, far, far away. Just little devils. And put a little black with that color, but just a small amount, maybe. Maybe there's another little dewar. Yep, you're right, and it comes right up and through here. Lift it up. There. Just let your imagination take you wherever you want to be here. All these little hills and stuff that live back in here, you can have them. You can have them wherever you want them. There we are. There. See, just vary a lot of these colors and lift. That lifting, though, once again, will make it look like little trees that live far away. Far, far away. All right. Another brush, clean and dry. Now I want to create mist, so I'm going to tap the base of all of this. But just the base. You can even add a little titanium white to your brush if you really want to create mist, but just a tiny bit. And make all kinds of little soft areas in here. There we go. Wherever you think they should live. That's exactly where they should live. I like to make paintings sometimes that are very soft and very gentle. They don't show up too well on TV, so most of them we do on TV are a little brighter, but they're still a lot of fun to do. When you're at home, try some of these. Let's go into, well, there's some lavender color we made the mountain out of. I think that was some black, some lizard crimson. We're going to put some sap green in it, a little blue, something about like that. Let me get a little white, be right back. Ooh, yeah, nice color. Nice color. Maybe a little black in there too. Just, yeah, perfect. Okay, tap the brush, get a little paint on it. Maybe in our world, maybe, yeah, you're right. I want to make the indication here of some little foothills. Some little footy hills that live right along, where do they live? make a big decision. You decide where they live. But just all kinds of little trees that live far up on the hill. And notice each layer is getting a little more distinct, a little more detail in it. There we go. Clean, dry brush. And I'm going to tap the base of this firmly, using the top corner of the brush. Firmly, though. Firmly. I want to create that illusion of mist under there. Lift upward. See how soft that becomes? You can do that. Same color, only darker. Little sap green, little black, little blue, little crimson, but darker. Each layer, as it gets closer to you, should get darker. Yep, here we go. All kind of little things living right up in here. There, there's many, many ways of making foothills. But this is one of the easiest, most effective that I've come up with. Try it. Try it. Before the series is over, we'll show you several different ways of making these. There we go. Just have to decide where this one goes. I don't know. Maybe it goes all the way over here. Don't know if we even care at this point. We only make one decision at a time here. All right. Back to our brush that we were using to create mist. And just mist the base of it. Just really get in there and mist it. Something about like that. There. Isn't that neat? But already you can see plains, just one after the other, all the way up through this mountain. There's already a lot of depth in this, and you've done very, very little. Shoot, that was fun. I'm gonna do it one more time. Same colors, but less and less white each time, less white. So once again, it gets darker and darker as it gets towards you, comes towards you. There we are. Maybe this one, that's almost the pure color. Not quite, a little white in it, but not a lot. And I'm using just the corner of the brush here. Make some very basic little shapes. I'm not looking for detail. It's too far away. Much, much too far away. You don't see every leaf in a tree this far away. There. About like that. There. Well, I got that color on the brush. Maybe there's water back here. We'll pull a little of that down. Just pull it straight down. Like that. Reflections are one of my absolute favorite things to do in this technique. I'm going to put a little white on the brush too. That'll make them sparkle. Just a little though. Don't overdo. Don't overdo. It gets working and it feels good, and next thing you know, you've overdone it. Now go across very lightly. Just enough to sort of move everything. About like that. Maybe there's a little light spot out in here. It's up to you. Just a little shimmer across the water. You can do all these things that easy. That easy. There. Okay, sometimes there. At least a little touch of pink in that. Just to reflect some of that color out of the sky. Not much though. Least little touch. Least little touch there. But keep these strokes straight so your water looks like it's level. Otherwise, it'll just sort of go away and leave you. Take that same old dirty brush, go into a little sap green, some of the yellows, yellow ochre, Indian yellow, all of them. I want to make a little green color. In my mind, this area right here is beginning to get close enough to us that we can make out color. Not making out a lot of detail yet, but we're getting some basic colors. Shape, form. Once again, we're not getting a lot of detail yet. Too much detail can be disturbing to the eye, because even if you're not aware of it, your mind knows that things that are far away you can't see a lot of detail in. Sometimes you're not aware of that consciously, but subconsciously you are. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I know you've looked at paintings and you'd say, something's wrong with that painting. I don't know what it is, but something bothers my eye about that painting. And it can be something as simple as that. There we go. I'm just taking a fan brush with a little green on it and just sort of pushing upward just a little. Let me put a little liquid white on there to thin it. Thin paint will stick to a thick paint. And I also want it to be a little lighter in color so it shows up a little better. So the liquid white accomplishes that very easy. There. About like that. A little more of the liquid white on the knife. Put the least little touch of bright red in it. Just the least little touch. And we'll just take here and cut in a water line. Just cut it in. This is just sort of a light area to break up between the darks. About like that. There. All right. We don't even know where that goes over there. At this point, we don't even care. Don't even care. There. A few little ripples on the water here and there. All those nice things. Find a fan brush. Liquid white. Okay, fan brush, liquid white, titanium white. I put the liquid white in there, once again, only to thin the titanium white. Be right back. Get a little blue. It's a very small amount of phthalo blue. You ready to have some fun? Let's do it. It's your bravery test. Pretend you're water. And you're floating along here one day. You're just having a good time. You're not bothering anybody. It's a wonderful day. You're just floating along, enjoying the scenery, and all of a sudden somebody pull the stopper right out of your world, and it goes over. And there it goes. Just let it come right over. But if you go straight and then down, doesn't matter where you go here, we'll cover any of that up that we don't like. It'll give the impression of water that's falling over. Maybe that's the reason they call it a waterfall. Let's take a little bit of brown paint, straight Van Dyke brown. I just want to put some dark in here. We'll put a lot of nice rocks in this, but I just want some dark right along in here to get us started. Really get in there and mash it in. I want to have some fun today. Let me clean off a spot to work. Let's take black. A little bit of Prussian blue, a little brown, maybe even a little crimson in it. Then I'm going to take paint thinner and I'm going to thin this color until it's quite thin. Quite thin. Just use paint thinner, plain old paint thinner. Preferably odorless, or you'll be working alone. And just mix it till it's nice and thin. Now then, I want to take white and a little bit of black to make a gray. Oh, there's a little blue there too, so I guess we're going to have a little blue in that too, but mostly black and white to make a nice gray color, about like that, maybe a little darker. Whew, perfect. Let me get a little thinner. I want this to be thin also. Now you remember our golden rule. A thin paint will stick to a thick paint. So all I'm doing here is making us some thin paint, so it'll stick to all that thick that we have up there already. Okay, wipe off the old knife. Let's get us a little oval brush. Oval brushes are easy to distinguish. They're the only brush we have that has a black handle. And I did that intentionally so you wouldn't get them confused. Load both sides full of color. See, both sides. Now, take one side, only one, and go through that light color. Dark, light. Now watch. Up here in our world lives a big old rock. Big old rock. Right there. See him? He's got a friend there. All right. Now let's just have some fun. Here comes one. Comes right over. There he comes. This is the nicest, easiest way I have ever found of making some gorgeous rocks. Now then, let's have some fun. Let's take black, some Prussian blue, a little sap green. Let me get some phthalo green. I like phthalo green in there. In our world, you ready? There lives. Decide where, right there. one big evergreen tree. And when we said big, today we mean big evergreen tree, pushing upward. Just pushing upward. There it comes. Big tree. Big tree. Here it comes. There. Whew. I didn't realize how big that tree was. But that's okay. In our world, we can have a tree any size we want it. If I know it's going to be that big, I'd probably use a 2-inch brush to have made it. It's easier. Now that same brush, go into a little yellow ochre, just mix them together. We can go back, put in a few little highlights. Don't want a lot. Keep these trees basically dark. Basically dark, something like that. Take a 2-inch, we'll go in that same color. The black, the blue, little sap green, or phthalo green. Yep, right there lives a bush. We can just drop him right in there, like that. Just fill that all in. Over here on the other side, be brave. Using the corner of the brush, we'll just drop in another one. Wherever you think they should be, just drop them in. Just sort of fill all this up. Just fill it up. There they come. There they come. All we're doing is putting in some dark so our light will show. And this liquid black really makes that easy. Really makes it much easier. Here comes one. Yep, right over the waterfall. And then we'll go through some of that yellow, little sap green on the brush. We can just use a 2-inch brush, one direction. And go right above here. You could do this with a 1-inch. I'm doing it with a 2-inch today. Doesn't matter. Put a little liquid white on my brush. Needs to be a little touch thinner so it'll stick. Very quickly you get a feel for this. As soon as you touch the canvas, you know. See there, darker down here. Now then, maybe in here, you're right, there lives another happy little tree. Notice I'm making this one with the corner of the brush, the other one I made by pushing upward. Just so there's some variations in your world. We want all kinds of little different things happening. There they go. Indian yellow, yellow ochre. Every once in a while, a little touch of that bright red. Whew. Give it a little fire. A little bit of fire. Makes your painting look nice. There. There we go. A little bit right in here. Like that. Wherever you think these things should be. Just think of all the little bushes. We can go back to our oval brush. It's got the dark paint that's thin, light on one side. And here and there, put in the indication of another little rock or two, wherever you think it should be. And in our world, maybe they live all through here, wherever. Dark on the bottom, light on top. This allows you to do them basically in one stroke. Maybe it comes all the way out like that. Over here, oh, there's one. There's one. Get a little more dark in there. Comes out. You put a bunch of these in, and then we'll just go back there with our old 2-inch brush. Old 2-inch brush. And we just go in and fill in all the little holes now with all these little things that live in here. See them? Okay, other side. Put a few over here. There. One little bush at a time. There we are. Okay. A little touch of the yellow ochre added here and there, just to change the flavor. There we are. Ooh, nice one there. Little sparkler. Little sparkler. All right. Now we can go back to our fan brush. Has a little liquid white on it. A little bit of the phthalo blue. Let's splash a little water back in here. Got to make those little noises. Let our waterfall just sort of wander around. Little splashes here and there. Let it go. Just let it go. Something about like that. And that easy. That easy. Shoot. See, leave some little open spots. Looks like little pools in there. There we are. Okay. And I think with that, shoot, we'll call that a finished painting. Hope you enjoyed this one. From all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting And God bless, my friend.